Let's go! Not over.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots. And for some reason, Johnny just dipped out. There he is. And with me is always
technical difficulties to the last second.
Hey, Johnny, what's going on? You messed up my intro of you.
Sorry.
With me, as always, Johnny C., creator of Surrounded by Death, my good co-host and friend. How's it going, buddy?
It's going, man. I'm operating off my cell phone tonight.
Okay.
So I'm bound
Sounds
to run
good.
into glitches. And, of course, it would happen right at the beginning of the show.
Okay. Well, at least you were able to come right back in. And the sound quality is not bad, actually. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, my phone's pretty good for what it's worth. It's just a matter of finding earbuds that'll work.
Oh yeah,
conveniently. That's the problem. I have too many earbuds linked up to one device. You know.
Oh yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm dying to know because I know this weekend you took a trip to Fan Expo in Boston, right? Like you had passes. You went on the Saturday show. Dying to hear how it was.
So. In passing through the show, there was a lot of people there. There was a lot of foot traffic. But as I walked through Artist Alley and spoke to some, vendor friends and people who've been on the show before, they were kind of getting like mixed reviews. So, a lot of people I spoke to said that they did better at Terrificon than they did at Fan Expo, though I'd say that maybe Fan Expo had a little bit more foot traffic. And I don't know if that's just attested to the layout because it's kind of crammed in there. The aisleways weren't as open as Terrificon was, but overall it was like an all right show. I like I said, I went through. I saw some friends who were exhibiting. Saw some of the indie books and exclusives they were doing there, and just kind of just checking things out, really.
Yeah, and definitely our returning guest tonight, I think, win as well. So when we bring them in, we'll have a discussion about that. I didn't go, and I didn't feel like I missed anything. Although I will say I did peep in on a couple Facebook profiles of vendors, artists, people that we know, just to see what they were saying about the show, and I saw more positive, like as far as sales go. But I only probably took consensus of like maybe 3 people. So one of them said it was okay. The other one said it got really good on Saturday and Sunday, and the other one said that they went in with low expectations and it far and above exceeded their expectations. So that's good to hear that people were making money and that people were actually spending money. Now I'm wondering if that's a fluke though, because I saw that 1/3 of their celebrity guests like canceled before the show, and I wonder if that had anything to do with the uptick in sales. Possibly.
So that was one of the other things too, is that they had some celebrity guests back out, but a lot of them were still there, and a lot of them had really long lines. So I feel like this show really was still very much I'm going to get the celebrity autograph, and maybe I'll buy an indie book or a block of fudge on the way out or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, because it ends up being everything but comics. Although, the good word of mouth has me thinking maybe I haven't done the show since it turned to Fan Expo, but I'm thinking possibly maybe next year I might try it. We'll see. We'll see where I'm at.
I'll just stick with Wicked Comic-Con coming next April.
Yeah,
from the guys who brought you the real Boston Comic-Con.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Definitely. I reached out to them I haven't heard back. I reached out to them to see if they wanted to do like a table swap. Table for my show versus theirs. I don't know if they'll go for it, but you can always try. What do you got there? Looks like you're opening up some stuff.
Yeah. So I figured I might as well, just while we're talking, open up a Kickstarter in my stack over here. This is actually Crackle by Philip Mara, who showed up on the show when we were doing the Surrounded by Death.
Oh
special.
Yeah,
he popped in.
I recognized the cover.
Campaign.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you backed it.
Yeah. I really liked what he had, so I figured I'd back it, and I figured I'd open it up while we were chit chatting.
Awesome. And, I wanted to show some books too. I actually went to Rubber Chicken Comics over the weekend, and I love that store because they have a huge indie section, and that's where it's primarily where I get my indie books. But I wanted to show a couple that I picked up that were really good that I read over the weekend.
Yeah, what you got?
So one of them's an Alterna book that I'm shilling for, but I got to say it's worth your money and to pick it up. It's fantastic. T-Bird and Throttle.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
It's by one of the new Alterna creators, Josh Howard, who did a comic book back. I don't know. It was a hot indie book called Dead at 17. Have you ever heard of that?
I remember the MTV show Dead at 21.
Oh, okay. It's the same thing, but it's that guy who's doing a book, and it's very much like the Batman animated style, but it was really well done. It was like about a superhero at the end of his career, doing. It reminded me of the movie The Wrestler, except with superheroes.
Cool.
And it's a thick book, 80 pages. It's almost like 4 issues, and it was $5. So I recommend grabbing that one. This one I had no idea was coming out, and I bought it instantly. But Image Comics, Echolands. Have you heard of this?
I've not heard of that, but I love the horizontal layout.
Yeah, this is J.H. Williams, the guy that was doing Batwoman for a while with Greg Rucka. His artwork is phenomenal. And I saw that when I saw it was his name, because I haven't seen him since he left Batwoman. But look at this artwork. It's like so incredible.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And he uses let me find a page here, but he uses the full horizontal aspect so well.
I love
this
that
page right here. I'm gonna review this on the channel this weekend, but you see them talking, and then there's this one of the villains is peeping on them with a drone, and you see the drone kind of going through all the panels.
It's zipping through the panels.
I mean, the way
that's cool.
The way he designs panels is amazing.
That's really cool.
$5 for this issue, and That's Entertainment had a ton of them.
That's a bargain. I'm gonna have to try to take a trip over there this weekend. Yeah. And scoop that. That's really cool.
Great fantasy book, and if you love that guy, which I did, I thought if they did the Batwoman show his comic, it'd be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I
highly
recommend
it. Batwoman show early wasn't my flavor.
Yeah, I could tell that they weren't going to do it correctly, so I was just I'm out of here. Yeah. But I liked the early ones with Rucka and him, and then he took over writing the book. Do you remember a controversy back in I think it was 2012 when Batwoman was going to get married and DC put their foot down, and basically J.H. Williams walked away from the book.
Yes. I remember
and it's so funny. You cut to today, they probably get fired if they didn't do that. You know what
right? I know, right?
But anyways, I digress. I would just say if you love that guy and his artwork, I mean, it's worth it just to buy it for the book. I think just for the artwork,
the artwork, the horizontal presentation, all that's got me hooked. I'm gonna have to seek out that.
Yeah, check that out, dude. That's Entertainment Worcester had a ton of them, so check it out.
That's the problem. Whenever I walk into that place, I leave broke.
I know. Same here, man. Same here, So that's what I did on Saturday. I went to That's-y, and then I went to Rubber Chicken. I spent like $60 on indie books.
It's easy to do that on a Saturday. Let me
so easy, I know. But anyways, so let's bring so the guest tonight. Actually, before we do that, let's say hello to some of the people in the chat.
Oh yeah, so I don't have the chat because I'm on my phone.
Oh yeah,
so I can't even see anybody that's there.
Now we got Roland with us as always. What's up, you boy? Roland, good to see you, buddy. Of course, Ara. What's up, man?
Always love to see you, bud.
Good to see you. Harry's saying I didn't enjoy Fan Expo Boston this year. With all the COVID protocols, it should have been called COVID Con. Yeah, was it bad, Johnny, with that stuff?
So here's something I noticed, right? You had to wear a mask indoors, which, isn't a bad thing. But I noticed wearing a mask took a lot more out of me, just kind of having restricted breathing, than if I say was walking around all day without it, right?
Really?
So I think I felt more worn out walking around the show with the mask on than I would have without it.
I imagine you're getting sweaty and you feel like, there's so many people around. Like that's how I would feel. Like, I almost feel like I had I'd have to get out of there, I feel like suffocated a little bit,
Yeah. So where at Terrificon, I could walk up and down the aisles, no mask, and I didn't feel constricted. More often than not, I would do the forearm swipe as you're walking by somebody. Okay. And, you catch a piece of their forearm or whatever. Like that happened more than once, me walking through all the people at Fan Expo. And, for COVID protocols, that was definitely not a good experience.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And Harry said that he did get to meet Chris Eccleston, though. He asked if he can be our resident Doctor Who expert.
Well, of course, so man. Eccleston's my doctor. When everybody says,
I like
who's your favorite doctor? Everybody has a doctor. Mine is Eccleston because he's like the James Bond of Doctor Who's. I was introduced to Doctor Who, and I love Doctor Who because of him.
Yeah, he was great. He was one of the best.
Yeah,
my wife said that fudge is good.
That fudge is good, though. It is. That's good fudge. I stopped for a sample. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, right. Either you going to Troy Comic Con this weekend? Not me. I'm prepping from the 18th on. I have 6 weeks of Comic Con, so I'm not going anywhere near one until I have to be at one. So yeah. What about you? Are you going to that one? That's Joe's show, I think. Joe Sousa's show.
Joe Sousa's show. I did the first one and I loved it. It was a great experience. Didn't really catch word on this one.
Me either.
Wasn't really given the heads up or anything, but that's okay. It was kind of off my radar. And I was really busy with all the crowdfunding stuff and all that stuff. But I'm so booked up as well because I've got Mike Conlin's show the last weekend of the month, right?
Yeah.
I've got concerts the next 2 weekends that I'm going to. And then after that, we get into October where there's NYCC and Monster Expo. So I got, one show right after the other, just like you do. So it's pretty busy.
And Brian from Blast Speed Industries. What's up, buddy? Good to hear from you.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you.
I'm listening, but I'm selling stuff on eBay. Buy my stuff. It's good stuff. It's on eBay.
Yeah.
I hear that. Roland says I can't breathe in masks. Yeah, I get that, man.
Yeah, man.
Austin, we stopped with that mask bull crap. Instead, everyone is preparing for the oncoming Civil War. Yeah, ain't that the truth?
I believe in masks. I don't, I'm not one to oppose them. I just don't.
I don't have a stake in it. I'm like you, Johnny. Like I did
in my mask in terms of physicality.
Yeah, it's weird. Like once I got the vaccine, I just don't feel like wearing it anymore. And it's like if I get it, it happens. We got to learn to start living with this. I think now because it's never going away. I mean, it's at that point where it's like So it's just like, whatever. But I don't want to get into the COVID because we're not here for COVID. We're not here to shill for the CDC right now. So
right.
So without further ado, let me give our guest a good intro again. Adam Gagnon, who's been on the show with us maybe about a year ago at this point. Hi, Johnny. He was one of our earliest
maybe
guests.
less than, but it was, he's been on the show.
Yeah, definitely. And he's also part of the So Wizard podcast team.
So Wizard.
And he runs their YouTube presence. And he's such a good dude. And he's got a new Indiegogo. So without further ado, let's welcome Adam Gagnon back to the show. What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, good to see you, man. And I'm sure you've been listening to us talk about Comic-Cons behind the back in the green room. I thought I saw on Facebook that you and Joey were at Fan Expo this past weekend, correct?
Yeah, went to Fan Expo with So Wizard podcast.
What was your experience with the show?
Yeah, how accurate was my description, would you say?
Pretty accurate. The cramp thing, like you mentioned, I found the weirdest because they had 3 floors of this convention center and they put everything in one quarter of one room. Seems like you could have put vendors somewhere and artists somewhere and the celebrities somewhere. It was strange.
Why was that? Were they trying to deter from the fact that there were a lot of cancellations? Or
I think what it was is that the BCEC is a huge convention hall. It's when PAX East is there, they open up the whole thing.
Okay.
Boston Fan Expo is a quarter of what actually PAX East would be. So I was shocked for them to not open the floor in full and for them to actually cram everything into a small quarters, especially during COVID.
Yeah.
Like they did. You know what I mean? And then they definitely didn't leave any spacing or extra spacing in the aisleways with COVID in mind. They kind of went as if it was the pre-COVID floor layout like it was before.
So there was no consideration taken for
none
distancing and all that.
They did even they did meetups, they did a Disney cosplay theme meetup, and it was right smack in the middle of everything. So even if you wanted to go and check out people's costumes, it was just a bottleneck of people. You couldn't even walk through and take a picture.
Right.
That stinks.
Yeah.
When were you guys there?
We went Saturday. We got there for opening, and we stayed till about 2 or 3 o'clock.
Wow. So we were there at the exact same time. Didn't even run into you guys.
No,
that's
didn't see
how
you.
Packed and crazy it was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good to hear. I mean, I hope that carries over to next year when
it was good to see people back at cons. Yeah.
That's cool. So, and you were also at Terrificon. Do you agree with Johnny? Was it more crowds than Terrificon?
It felt like it, but like Johnny said, I don't know if it's because everyone was crammed into a small space or if it's because it was literally more people.
Right, where Terrificon was really spread out. So maybe that's the difference.
I also did Terrificon on Sunday and this one on Saturday, and Saturdays are always busier.
Yeah. And that's one thing I noticed about Terrificon this past year was it was like a Sunday was very dead compared to Friday and Saturday, which was, interesting for a show,
And so Terrificon, I think, had 55,000 through the door all weekend. So I'd be curious to see what the Fan Expo number was.
Where do they actually post it accurately though, or they?
I don't know if it's accurate. I think I caught this in the comments, but
okay, yeah, everyone likes to pad those numbers,
Yeah, true.
So when you were there, Adam, did you get any? Were you there to promote your new Indiegogo?
I did hand out some flyers and stickers, but we were mostly there to do So Wizard coverage. We did some interviews with other indie creators.
Nice. So you're going to have them for the YouTube channel?
Yeah, they should really already be up, but I've just been so slammed with work this week. I haven't had a chance to dive through all the footage, but we'll have them up in the next few days.
Yeah, I remember when we used to do that, when we were doing, I'm going to throw up the YouTube channel here for you guys.
Nice.
This is the So Wizard podcast YouTube channel. Adam, you run the YouTube channel for them mostly, right?
Yeah, I do the YouTube channel. Every now and then I pop in guest on the show, but mostly the YouTube. And then Joey and I do a Patreon show together every month.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
I know. I love that. That Joey and Aubrey and Mark kind of have the core podcast, but then they also have this on the side, and I think they do an Instagram and everything else, right? Too.
Yeah, Joey's super busy on the social media.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
I'm sure they all are, but
yeah, it's like starting your own like media empire, kind of,
Yeah, it just spreads.
But the channel's growing. Like I remember peeping in on the YouTube channel. Maybe like 6 months ago, and I don't think you had this many subscribers then. Like, so you guys are slowly growing, which is
and the
really
crazy
good.
thing too is that the shorter videos, or we'll take like a clip of an interview and put it on social media, and that gets 10 times the hits that YouTube does, but it doesn't convert to, because they're on their own networks, their own channels. So.
Oh, you mean you put the short video where on Facebook, or
like say on Facebook? Because if you put a link on Facebook, it kind of gets smothered. It doesn't get as much reach. Yeah. So if you take a video,
Facebook wants you to post it in like Instagram TV or
exactly,
So it's tough. Like I find that as Facebook is just getting worse and worse for being a promotional thing, unless you want to promo to your friends and family and the people that actually see your posts,
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of a horrible format unless you want to pay money to,
and like a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. Harry said Walter Koenig was unrecognizable. He was wearing a hat, mask, and shield. It may not have been him. Did you guys notice that?
Mickey Dolenz. They fooled you.
Did you guys notice that at all? Did you notice what was he dressed like, an AIM employee, like with the yellow?
Yeah, the yellow hazmat. I saw Billy West was behind a shield at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's the reality of, and I don't blame him. At Comic-Con, we all know how dirty Comic-Cons are.
Yeah, everyone gets con crud in a normal year.
Yeah, exactly. On a normal day, I'm just waiting for the con crud variant to come.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's an alligator con crud.
Yeah. And I'm guessing this is Joey. That's how Fan Expo always is. Huge space for the autograph area. Artist alley and vendors cramped. Yeah, I mean that's
what it was.
That's why I stopped doing those shows originally, because it's just he said he looked like the Invisible Man. That's great. Or the Negative Man from Doom Patrol. But that's why I don't like those. I don't actively support shows like that, because I know that's the case, unless you're posting up numbers like California, like San Diego or New York. It's like where you just make money because of the sheer number of people. You can't justify that with, I don't know.
But even like Rhode Island, for being like a moderate sized show, once you get across that bridge, I don't know if you guys have been to the Rhode Island Comic-Con, but
I'm not a fan
initial
of
bridge
that
to get in is a nightmare. But once you're in, I think they have it set up well where the big time celebrities are in their own section. So if that's what you want to do, go down a couple hallways, you're there.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the thing with Rhode Island. Is I noticed, like, I took like 3 or 4 years off from doing it, and then I decided the year before COVID hit that I'll try it again, because I had all 3 issues of Mighty Mascots, and they literally have made the Artist Alley into just 2 lanes in one section of the convention, and it's like, wow, they really don't like comics here,
Yeah, it's a Comic Con. Let's do this. Come on.
Yeah. They need to take
Comic Con, like, let's con all the creators into giving us money so we can pay for all these celebrities.
Yeah, there you go.
That's exactly what it is. So unless there's drastic changes to that show, I think I'm pretty much done with them at this point. I'm just gonna seek out one-day shows and things like that.
I could see that.
Brian says, spending all day next to Seth MacFarlane and Alyssa Milano sounds like the 5th circle of hell. Probably. I just the smugness and the not, I can just imagine, But anyways,
the weirdest experience I had at a convention was I was walking through the dungeons of Super Mega Fest at the Sheraton.
Okay.
And there's like all those little conference rooms that are kind of like tucked away. Where,
I remember
if you take the wrong turn looking for the bathroom, like, you're in conference room territory. And I walked by this conference room. There's a bunch of 40-year-old dudes sitting around in a semicircle as, Eliza Dushku was reading to them like it was fucking kindergarten story time. And then Rick Fox is just standing in the corner like this. I'm like, this is the weirdest, like, Twin Peaks shit I've ever seen. And then I just kept walking.
I know. I've had some weird experiences with celebrities. Like in Boston one year, Thomas Jane came by the table.
Oh,
and,
guy was probably
I gave him a
toasted.
copy of my book, and as he's walking away, I looked down and he's barefoot. He's walking around Boston Comic Con barefoot.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this dude out of his effing mind?
Oh, yeah. That guy's wild.
Was like, that was weird. Like, it's not your carpet, not your home carpet, dude, Yeah. Really bizarre.
How about you, Adam? Any weird run-ins at shows?
Yeah, you've
not like that. I'm pretty good going to cons, though.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Roland had a great idea, and I think this is true. I say they just rebrand them culture cons, given how far removed they are from comics.
Like pop culture convention.
Yes, I agree. And Brian said, serious idea. Indie artists in Austin set up merch tables at concerts. Consult your local metal and punk bands and ask if you can hang out at the show.
That's not a bad idea. That's genius. I never understood why movie theaters don't allow comic creators to go set up.
Especially at big time movie releases, I think.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Would it be a huge thing, Especially catching people walking in. They may not want, I don't know. It's
walking out. That's the key right there, right? People are
everyone's all amped up.
Oh, what's this all about? Let me tell you about this. Oh, what'd you go see?
Right.
Like, it's like shooting fish in the barrel when it comes to marketing at that point,
Yeah, they almost should do, like, some of them are big enough where they could do a mini convention in there.
So proof of concept was that I used to promote Vermont Comic Con the weekend before at a local movie theater up there.
Okay.
And it was perfect. Like, I think Civil War had just come out, and it's just like, you get 30 people at a time exiting a theater, super interested in comics, definitely wanting to find out what Vermont Comic Con was doing there. Like, comics and the movies just go hand in hand. I never understood why they don't do that.
Yeah, I've said this in the past too. It's like comics, they have a problem where no one knows where to get them unless you know where your local comic store is.
Right.
It's like, visibility is huge.
Yeah.
And being at a movie theater would definitely help that. I mean, how many times have you heard people say they still make comic books? Like they did, like older people that aren't in the know, think that they don't even exist anymore, Yeah,
even if it wasn't anyone from the big publishers, the big two is like, yeah, the movies are doing great, but no one's buying the comics.
Yeah, so that's 100% true, and it's just getting worse.
That's the funny thing. The closest comic book shop to me is like 4 minutes away driving distance. It's called Excelsior and has a comic rack, probably.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Only slightly smaller than what you'd find in a Newberry Comics now. Like,
I've been there.
For a place called Excelsior, they better fucking stock some comics, bro.
I've been there.
It's more of a gaming. Cards, you can go there, no problem.
Yeah, right. It's more of a gaming shop, isn't it? It's a gaming shop, isn't it? More of a gaming shop. Yeah. I stopped in there once because that was on my way home on my commute. And I was like, oh, you check out this place. I walked in, pretty much turned right around and walked out.
I can see that happening.
Yeah,
you're like not even missing a step. You're like, well, this place ain't for me.
Yeah, exactly. The cashier was playing like Nintendo on the back, and I was like, oop, right out of there. But anyways.
Well, enough about our bullshit. Let's talk a little bit about social studies.
Yeah, definitely.
Adam, so I know you went to Indiegogo. When did you guys launch?
September 1st.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Cool.
I guess let's go over it again because, like, what's the book about? Like, give us like your elevator pitch of it.
The elevator pitch is it's It's a slice of life comedy comic about high school, because high school was just this ridiculous time for everybody. We felt like the aspects of high school where everything was either the greatest thing in the world or the worst thing that could ever possibly happen. There was no gray area. Everything was extreme. Everything felt so important, like hugely important, even though, looking back now, you barely remember any of it.
Yeah, right.
So we wanted to take all that, which we felt was ripe for comedy, and then kind of put our characters through it. But for our characters, we play it totally straight. Like, we're not trying to make fun of anyone's experiences. We're just trying to make light of what everyone's going through.
Gotcha. So, like, how close are the characters to you? And the artist is Mike. I forget the last name.
Mike, yeah, Virgilio. He wanted to come on. He works nights on the West Coast, so he was going into work as you guys were starting.
Gotcha. So now, obviously there must be characters sort of based on both you and him, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, what we wanted to do with the characters, instead of saying like, I'm Lenny and Mike is Turner, or for whatever reason, we said, okay, Lenny is we're not sure who we are, insecure, really shy part of all of us. And then Turner is the guy that you kind of want to be, where he's outgoing, he's cool, he's the smartest guy in the room. He just feels like he has it all together and doesn't really care what people think. And then Roy is like, when you're that age and you're going through things, you just get angry, and that's Roy. That's how Roy faces all of his problems, is like he's the hammer.
Gotcha.
So we cut our personalities up into the characters rather than made like one-to-ones, so we could get a little more extreme.
And do you do most of the writing, or is Mike involved as well?
We'll talk on the phone and kind of like break stories. Like, okay, well, the A story will be this, and the B story will be these guys over here, and then we try to have them meet up together. We write it exactly like a modern day sitcom.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed at both of you guys' output. I mean,
oh, thanks.
I think the last time we talked to you, which it was a year or less ago, I think.
It was less, because we launched the comic in January 2021.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
You only had maybe one or two issues done at the time, I think.
Well, we released one a month through July.
Oh, wow.
And that's our first chapter, and that's what our Indiegogo is now.
I recall you guys had that pace set, and I think us marveling at that.
Yeah, for an indie creator to get more than one book out. That's a really
good pace to have. Quality, consistency, and just getting around and telling people about it. I mean, you guys really are on the right track for indie marketing overall,
Oh, thank you, because we feel like marketing, we have no clue what we're doing.
No, you guys, I think you're doing it. You're just putting it out consistently.
It takes time,
and then you're putting the word out. And the best part about it is you guys are multiple beacons. It's not just you, one cat waving a flag. You have a team. You guys are all doing it in conjunction with each other. And, I think that's really also going to help for your crowdfunding as well. I also feel like, when I was doing my campaigns, like I felt like a single beacon at times. And I felt, if I had a little bit more support, we probably would have done a little bit better.
Yeah, even just being a team of two is so much better than being alone.
Right, exactly.
Like, I feel like, the hardest thing for you right now is finding that people. And I think like, like if you have you had any thoughts about doing shows, like actually setting up a table and selling?
Absolutely.
books?
We wanted to get into some of the small, well, I would probably have to do them out here myself, or maybe try to like rope Joey into hanging out.
Are you out
I'm in New York. So I'm close to all the New England cons, because I'm in the Albany area of New York. There's nothing here.
It's not even one-day shows around there or nothing. Huh?
I was just in Poughkeepsie.
Oh, that's even a few hours from where I am.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But
those are the kind of shows you want to try to do first, I think, is the smaller one days.
Right. We're hoping, I think it was called Bing Con out in Massachusetts, but it didn't happen.
I don't know if
it's
going to happen, though, because the Bing Arts Center or that something
theater
happened
or something they were supporting.
Yeah, I saw Mark Mastel, who's the con promoter for that, post something on Facebook not too long ago about how the con is going to be, or they're just done right now. They want to do it again, but I don't think they have a venue. So
Right.
think
The
it's going to
convention
happen
scene's
at
a little
some point.
fluid right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it might be a year or two before we see Bing come back. Which sucks.
that's
but
kind
the
of the
Bing
thing
is
I
a
was
good
looking
one.
for.
That's the level you want to start with.
Yeah, small one day focused on comics.
Small one day. Something that's going to cost you less than $100 for a table.
Yeah.
Things like that,
Because I'm sure once I get in there, I'll realize like, oh, I thought I was prepared and I missed, all this stuff.
Well,
it's your first
dude,
one.
I've been doing this since 2008, and every time I do a show, I find another little thing I can tweak or change. It's like it's never ending,
Yeah.
You see somebody do something, and you're like, oh, I want to do that, or you get an
Right.
idea, or what are you gonna say, Johnny?
Well, two things. One is something I'm gonna you see something, you're like, oh, I want to do that. Keith's new revolving banner.
I was just gonna say that. I know
Keith has
I want
a banner
revolving
that spins, and I'm so jelly of it.
And I've had that for probably 5 or 6 years now, but I stopped using it because it has my old stuff on it. It was pre Mighty Mascots, so
right.
Just having that movement behind you, though, it grabs you from 100 feet away.
The colors and everything. And you know where I saw that banner for the first time was at a Hartford Comic-Con back in like 2011. There's a dude that just sells kind of unique and weird banners. I think the website's called I Am Photographics or something like that. IamPhotographics.com. He's got all kinds of crazy stuff on there. He's got like 3D banners, and if you're looking for something unique and to try to stand out, it is a little pricey, but when you break things down, it makes sense, I think,
Yeah,
if you're going to use it for years, it's going to
if you keep it going, definitely.
absolutely. The other thing I was going to mention though is that there is a certain balance of the amount of content you have to sell at a table and the table that you go for cost wise, right? Like if you have a lot of stuff to sell and you're kind of skimping and going for the like a artist alley table, you might not get the same sales that you would where if you went for a bigger booth or a bigger small press table, for example, and you get a little even better like exposure on the floor. And I think some of that is like lost until you actually see it or experience it, or if somebody tells you and it gets through.
Yeah, definitely. Sense. And I lost money for years before I started turning it around to like now. Most shows I either break even or I make some money. But it took me a long time to get to that point. And it's just like, it's like that when people say, comics will break your heart, that's what they're talking about. I think it's like that struggle. Like a lot of people, they got to have it in them to make it through that struggling. There's a lot of times where I was like, what am I doing like with my life? Johnny, I'm sure you've had those days, right? You get home from a show and you just feel like crap because you sold 2 books and you're like, what the hell am I doing with my life?
That's usually the 2.5 hour mark on a drive to a convention.
Yeah.
Like,
when you're just alone with yourself.
Yeah. Why am I not home right now watching fucking TV and Cheetos? Like,
right.
And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, I fucking love comic books so much.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I mean, it really comes back to that,
Yeah, passion.
Dr. Mass said, good evening, all. Hey, man, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in.
What it is.
And then we got Albany. He said Albany had a show twice a year, but not the last 2. That's interesting.
Yeah,
they were really
near the
small.
Albany airport.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, they tried a couple different ways, and one was kind of a Comic-Con. It was small, but it was a Comic-Con, and another one, it was like an indoor garage sale, it felt like.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of show that
it was free parking, right?
Yeah. The small Comic-Con might have been a good thing to just try out, just to try it out.
Yeah.
I didn't know this
about
like a dry
run.
I used to be a comic dealer at shows and had those days. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, as bad it is for us, Johnny, imagine hauling around how many long boxes, to you've done it with your cousin,
with Roger. Yeah, I've hauled a few of his long boxes before.
I would hate that.
It's like, you know what it is? I equate it to the roofing of Comic-Con, right? Like roofing sucks. like carrying like big bundles of shingles up a ladder to a roof where you could possibly fall and die. Like that sucks. Like lugging giant boxes of comics where, you know, God forbid it falls and, you know, you lose you know, all this money. It's the same thing.
Yeah. You know, the roofing of Comic-Cons. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No disrespect to those guys, though. I love
those guys. I mean, hey, they do
they
it
have
for the
heart
love
for it, and that's what counts.
And they probably, you know, on a good show can make a ton of money, but it's gonna be a good show. And he said that's a great analogy. Yeah. Analogy.
Thanks, man.
I can't talk tonight. But yeah, definitely. What did Brian say? New York State is doing it weird now. They're making the small NYC punk shows do the vaccine proof thing. Yeah, that's happening with New York Comic Con, I think, too.
All of New York City is supposed to be going that way.
Yeah, I saw Funko pulled out of New York.
I'm thinking about marginalizing my trip to NYCC from, you know, Thursday to Sunday to maybe just like Thursday, Friday, you know, just the days that are less attended, that there's probably going to be like fewer people there. I don't want to walk around all day with a mask on.
Yeah, like, that's a thing.
You know what I mean? That sucks. If it's hot too, that's going to be even worse. So
I'm hoping it'll be better for us without Funko and some of these other people not there, you know, because I'm definitely going. As far as I know, I have a table. I keep getting the emails, so I'm thinking I'm in, but I haven't seen any floor maps or anything yet. So, you know, but yeah, what did he say? When I moved to Boston, the movers asked if my containers of comic books were full of bricks. It's true, man. It's true. Those things are heavy. You know, I don't even want to. I have about probably about 20 boxes here at my house. I hated moving them from my my parents' house to here. You know, it sucked.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Those long boxes aren't light. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not. But anyways,
let's circle back around to social studies again.
We get sidetracked here. We get a lot of sidetracking here. You know, which I like. You know, I like when we go down different tangents. But yeah, so Adam, so you guys produced 6 books now?
7 are out now.
7 are out. That's impressive, though. Yeah. Honestly,
phenomenal.
That's about 3 years of indie output.
We're actually
you know.
Chapter 2 is going to be 6 issues, with the 6th one being like a plus size, like a bonus size issue.
Okay.
And Mike right now is drawing number 5, and I'm coloring number 4, and number 6 is just about done being written.
Awesome, dude, man. Yeah, I'm impressed with your output. I really am. That's like amazing. Now you just got to go and do the shows and start building
just got to get them out there.
You know,
we're kind of taking the mentality of, like, you know, when you're scrolling through Netflix and you see a new show you've never heard of, and you're like, this is amazing. How did I never see this? Holy crap, I got 4 seasons.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Now.
Yeah, that's the way to think about it, you know. But yeah, no, and so you're doing a campaign because you have the collected edition now, and you're trying to get the money up to pay for it. Is that
literally just the money to print them? Yeah, we figure it's a really good time for people to jump on board, and you get the whole complete first chapter. So
and the great thing is people know it's done. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's true.
Like the day the campaign ends, it goes to the printers.
Right. That would be the time it takes to do that, and then the time for you to actually ship it out. So maybe a couple months at the most, you know.
At the most, yeah. Our goal is by Christmas, because Christmas is coming, and if you buy this book for a kid, you want it for Christmas. So.
Oh yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah. Hey, Don Chin's in the chat tonight.
Hey,
what's up,
Don?
Buddy? Hey, thanks for
by.
Unboxing the mascot stuff on your show today, man. I really appreciate that. It was awesome seeing that. Yeah, Don has a show that he does like an open mic on during the day. And Adam, if you want, you should reach out to him. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
He does a show every week or something, and you know, he does like an open mic thing. You get to come on for 7 minutes and pitch whatever you're promoting. And he actually opened up the package I sent him with the sketch cover I did like about a month ago, which was really cool. But yeah, let's take a look at the campaign. And
I was just gonna say, can we pull up the campaign page?
Yeah, let's take a look, and then we'll actually let me make sure I have the audio here, because we'll play the video. Check out the video on it. So you're at 303 25% of your goal. Your goal is $1,200, and you got 38 days left. I think you guys can hit that.
Hope so.
It's good that you went with a reasonable goal. Like I always tell people to think small.
Oh yeah, like I said, we're literally looking to get the cost of printing and shipping it to our houses covered.
Very cool. All right, yeah, let's take a look at the video here. Let me
roll that footage.
Let me put it up here. Hang on one second.
Make sure we got audio too, Keith.
Yeah, I checked that. Let's put it up big here. And here we go. Tell me if the audio isn't playing too when I'm done.
Hey everyone, I'm Adam.
And I'm Mike. And we're the co-creators of Social Studies,
a comedy about the frenzy of high school.
These stories are based on our lives.
Loosely.
And we mixed in some wish fulfillment with a bit of what we would tell our past selves.
We wanted the look and feel of the comic to be reminiscent of the 90s cartoons that we grew up on.
We're excited to share this unique project with you. We gathered our first 7 issues into a high-quality paperback.
We're incredibly appreciative of your support. This will really help us expand the reach of our stories as we continue to create new issues.
So make sure you tell your friends, plaster this all over social media, and most importantly, enjoy the comic.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It looks awesome, dude.
So one thing I do want to say is that the music is so tonally spot on to the book. It's great. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it sounds like that was that like 90s ska kind of sound.
Right. That's exactly what we were into in high school. So we're kind of like paying homage to our high school experience while writing about it.
What was that? The Mighty Bosstones and like
I
Real
love
Big
the
Fish
Mighty
and all
Bosstones.
that stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
And
that's actually how I met Joey from So Wizard. He had a ska band for the longest time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Ira said this looks awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You may have another backer.
Yeah.
Dr. Mask is asking if this is an all ages book. What's the rating on this
We
one?
equate it to a PG-13 rating.
PG-13. So there is it like when with the PG-13, is it really bad stuff, or is it like just a swear here or there?
Or just a swear here or there, and like no F words. If there's anything too harsh, we do the cartoon swearing and bleep it out, and we do that very sparingly also.
Okay.
So it kind of reminds me, and I know this is going to be a weird comparison, but like Dazed and Confused.
Oh, like, I can see that.
There's like not a lot. There's like no nudity. It's just like it's a solid PG-13. Like just for like those coming of age themes, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what we're going for. Yeah,
and it's definitely not in the a crass way or anything like that.
Yeah, nothing.
But it's
crass,
also
no
reminiscent
nudity.
to me too of like some of those indie slice of life books, but with a focus on high school, which is kind of cool. And you always have like that one character that's the like you said earlier, is like the slacker type that that everyone wanted to be, and and it's good that you took some time to craft different characters, different personalities.
Well, I was just gonna say you got the Ferris Bueller character and you have like the Cameron character, like those perfect balances where they're like they bounce off each other so well, but they couldn't be so much more different from one another,
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And so now if someone's looking at your campaign, Adam, would you recommend the featured perk? Is that the one that you're pushing people towards?
Yeah, the featured perk is the book with all 7 issues in it.
How many pages is that?
186 pages.
So 186 pages for $25, and does that include the shipping?
There's $5 for shipping.
Okay, so 30.
That's up
30 after shipping. Yeah, we kept it as low as possible.
So you get a full book that's a lot of pages for the money, which I think,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a normal trade paperback of like even like an X-Men book with that many issues would be about this price, I think. Even less, you know, or maybe more at this, you know. And so this is the one that you're trying to get. And is this the cover that you guys are going to do?
Because when we were in high school, we would draw these comics just for each other in composition notebooks, and we should have been paying attention in class, and then we'd pass them around to our friends. So we wanted to kind of pay some respect to the composition notebook.
Yeah, me too. I didn't learn a damn thing in high school.
Yeah.
So but I did get 20 issues of the Lemonster Guardians made.
There you go.
And I read that comic.
You would read. I still have them, Johnny. You don't want to read them. They're very
dust them off.
Very un-PC. It was basically me and my friends as superheroes, but we still acted like we did in high school. So, and this is the high school of like the late 80s. So you could just imagine the shit coming out of our mouths. You know?
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is great, dude. And then people can get digital copies, obviously, if they want to just read it digitally. That's actually a great deal too.
We bundled the first three for $5 just in case, you know, maybe you don't want to go in all in at $30. So the digital ones, the day the campaign ends, you got your books.
Yeah, true. And now, what do you normally sell one of the regular issues for?
The digital are usually $3, and the printed are usually $5.
$5, okay. Yeah, I mean, I like just some, you know, possible ideas on the campaign that I think you could, beef up a little bit. And Johnny, you know, let me know if you think I'm on the right path there too. But I think you could have easily gotten 10. You could have bumped this up to 10, I think, you know, for the digital, because you're getting 3 issues, which I think is huge.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I was kind of in the same boat where I felt like I needed to kind of lowball my digital files, but those are the cream of the crop when it comes to crowdfunding because they're easy to deliver. It's pretty much like free cash. You know what I mean? They're setting up a PDF.
And don't undersell yourself with the signed stuff. And like I used to be like, you know, who the hell wants my signature? You know, like I used to be that way.
But have that mentality.
Yeah, but don't, because I tried to tell Johnny this. People love that stuff. You know, like even though we may not feel like, you know, like our signature's worth anything, but you shouldn't feel that way. You created something and people want your signature, you know.
The tough thing for us with the signature is
they're gonna read, you know.
Yeah, I still don't think my signature.
Iris says, "I want."
I'm like, are you sure you want to ruin the book?
No, but some people. Let me see. Maybe a head of the class sitcom feel. I remember Head of the Class.
Oh yeah,
but I don't know
that.
But your comic doesn't have teachers in it too much, just the kids, right?
A little bit. We kind of introduced some early on. And the comic series follows them through high school, so they do age and grow up and learn things along the way. So we introduce some teachers early on, but at like 14, we are writing a lot of stories where they're very self-centered without realizing it. Like we even do one where they go to an escape room in the mall and they end up with another couple, and that couple just gets like sucked into their weird vortex because they're just so in their own heads.
Okay.
There's going to be some development with the teachers down the line where they kind of get the like a little bit of guidance out of it and things like that.
Nice. That would be kind of funny because, like, does this take place in the 90s too?
They have cell phones, but we try to kind of keep that 90s flair, so it's like a little bit of both.
You know, it'd be funny idea for a teacher, and you know, you can say take it, or if you want to throw it out, I don't care. But how about a teacher that's just too scared to like offend any of the students? I think that would be kind of funny. Like, you know,
that is actually really funny.
You know, just walking on eggshells around everybody. You know,
yeah,
that would be kind of funny because
in chapter 2 we have a teacher who's just really over being a high school teacher and just has
you're gonna have to discuss it.
The
ones that don't care, like walks in the class and be like, yeah, whatever, just read for the hour. You know.
One of my favorite shows is Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and I definitely get like all those kind of vibes from this, you know.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dr. Mass said, just thought of this Little Giant old school comic show in New Hampshire, about 2 hours from Albany. Smaller show, had some good guests. Yeah, I got to recommend that one. That is a good show. Very, very comic focused. In fact, I don't think there's anything but comics there, which is great. And it's very much like my show, where it's all on a hockey rink and, it's just comics and vendors and things like that. So yeah, definitely. That one's worth checking out. Yeah, look at this. Ara just back the printed for the first 3 issues. Look at that. You got a backer.
Awesome, Ara. Thank you.
Nice.
And then he said he wants signatures. I get it. And, great show. Old school it is. Yeah, definitely. I love the old school show. But yeah, no. So he must have backed this one, which is great. And then you have the chat. Oh, you have it digitally too for $20. So if you don't want to invest in the printed one, if you're a digital guy,
and then no shipping
one, which
too.
Is nice. You know what you guys should do, because Mike does all the artwork, right?
He does the outlines and the drawing, and then I color it and do the lettering.
Gotcha. So
you guys work very well together. There's a nice balance
thank
here.
You.
Yeah. Now, so you do it all digitally, huh?
Yeah, the first issue he was doing on Bristol board with Indian inks and like doing it all traditionally.
Yeah.
But he's in Seattle and I'm in New York.
Gotcha.
So he's like, how do I get these to you if we ship them all the time? Because he was like getting a couple pages done, trying to send them so I could start coloring. He's like, if we wait for a whole book to be done before I send it, it'll take forever. What if something happens in the mail? We only have 1 copy. We tried to take like super high res photos and send them that way. The first issue was probably drawn fully like 4 times before we figured it out.
So. Oh,
hey, trial and error, right? There's a process in place.
No, because what I was gonna say, Adam, because idea for other perks that might do well for you guys is, you and Mike could do a commission for people, like you could do so you have the whole book here for $30 or $25 with shipping. If you did like a $50 tier, and Mike could even draw people in this style, in the social studies kind of style.
Yeah.
And you could do that as a tier, and then you could color it for the people, and it would offer another thing of value, to the campaign. It's not too late. You could add that in,
Yeah, we should add that in. I'm going to talk to him about that.
Yeah, talk to him about that. Another thing you could do is look at stuff like that's high school branded, right? Like you could do, I don't know, do they do custom rulers, or like
the big thing we had planned and we really wanted to do it, but then we were afraid it was going to be too expensive, is I found a place and we even did artwork for it. We were going to do lunch boxes.
Cool. Lunch boxes are cool, and that could be like a high end thing,
Yeah,
that could be like $100 tier or something,
Yeah.
People that would spend that, but the only problem with that is I've never done a lunch box, so I don't know if you have to do a minimum purchase on those.
We did, which is it drove our Kickstarter price up. So we're like, maybe we'll wait till we have.
Wait till you get a better audience.
Following.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if we sold 2 and had to order 30.
Johnny, do you have any ideas? Like just looking at this, like what would you do if you had like a high school, like someone saying erasers, like maybe is there a banded erasers? Dr. Mask is saying you could do something like that.
Erasers we didn't look into. That's a good idea. We looked into folders, which was surprisingly expensive.
Yeah, I could see that was like a trapper keeper or something.
Yeah, we were trying to do like a back to school pack, like a folder, a pencil case.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
pencil
great.
Could just say the name on it. But
I was just going to say, one thing that I learned from my campaign is don't be afraid of the premium tiers.
Okay.
Because, we did one where it was what Keith was saying, illustrate yourself into the book. And I didn't think my artists especially, we didn't think anybody was going to back that. And lo and behold, we actually had 4 pledges.
Dude, same. I had
300
5
piece. So people were all about it.
Yep. Yeah, I had 5 spots to be drawn in the Mighty Mascots, and all 5 were sold almost instantly. Probably right at the beginning of the campaign. You could do that for future issues. You could have people drawn into the issues. You could do that for like $50 or $75. I'm just thinking about other things you could add for perks.
So for
perks, value out of it.
So for perks, the other suggestion I could offer or give is that one of the main things I did for my campaign is I wanted to have items that were practical that people would use it every day. So, for Surrounded by Death, it was the whole coffee thing. So I had coffee mugs, and I had barista aprons and things like that. So I know, logistically, you might think, I was thinking like backpacks for you guys would be awesome, right?
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Get just buy 5 backpacks, nice ones, go to the places to get it embroidered, and then just make it a premium tier. And, I just know that if I bid maybe 200 or 300 bucks on the backpack tier, and all the comics showed up in a backpack with the logo embroidered on it, that would be awesome. Fun, something fun like that,
Yeah, you want to find. And the other challenge is to find small and easier to ship things too, as well. But Ara's asking how many issues are in chapter 1. Is that all 7 issues?
All 7 issues. Yep.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And that's the full book. Okay.
Yeah, that's the full book.
I would say you offered 1, 2, and 3. You might even want to consider add-ons, like to add on, 4, 5, and 6 or 7 as singles. People may want to do that.
How much time is left on the campaign?
40.
We launched it for 45 days and we're 8 in, so 30 something. Yeah.
Yeah, you got time.
Yeah. So you're just getting started in that regard.
Yeah.
Erasers. He said erasers is an idea. What about milk cartons? I didn't even think about that. You could do something fun with that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
My wife said this looks so fun. School branded pens and pencils would be cool.
I was going to say, definitely brand things from within the comic,
this is a great idea.
The school or whatever.
School ID.
Oh, that's
school
amazing.
ID.
We should have thought of that.
That would be easy to ship. And that would be cheap to do. You could probably do one of those for $10. You could do a drawstring bag. That would be easier than a backpack. That's true. And those are cheaper too to get your branding on them. Those, what he's talking about, those ones you see at conventions.
Yeah, like the sling bag.
Yeah. So some ideas to chew on, Adam. You still got time.
I'm going to be busy tomorrow.
Yeah. I was going to say, throw some perks up this weekend and then start advertising the hell out of it. The other advice I got from, and this is from Pete that runs Alterna. You want to kind of have perks at different levels. You have one for 5 or even 10. You maybe want to start at 10. Then you got 25, then you got 50, then you got 75, then you got 100. You want to think in terms like that.
Okay.
So, just some ideas to,
No, I appreciate it.
Go back and, or either write these down or go back and watch the show and let the chat run so you can grab all these ideas.
But
all these guys
what you guys are doing
for giving Adam some ideas. This is good stuff.
Yeah. But I think even what you guys are doing right now, you're going great so far.
Oh,
Yeah. And I think you guys are on the right track. So
first time campaign,
take all the feedback we offer, but I think when it comes down to it, you guys know what you're doing with your thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And got you another backer. My wife backed the printed book. I think this will be the perfect gift for our 12, almost 13-year-old nephew.
Perfect. Yeah.
Look at that. Got a couple backers tonight, Adam. So.
Yes. Thank you guys very much.
Nice.
And then we got the,
yeah.
Thanks, buddy. But yeah, no. So Adam, some ideas to mull and put you a little closer to your goal, which I think is very doable.
Yes. Yeah. Huge. Thank you guys so much. And everyone in the chat too.
Dude, you're welcome. And trust me, Johnny knows, and I know how hard these campaigns are.
Oh yeah.
The amount of time it takes is I knew it was going to be busy, but not like this.
Yeah. Make sure you tell your family.
How many times do you check the page per day? It's like every 5 minutes, right?
I actually don't let myself check the page. Anytime I have free time, I'm on Twitter or Facebook or emailing or finding podcasts and just, spreading the word and asking people to share or whatever.
Bro, that's the hustle. You're doing it right. You know what I mean? You're doing it right. I just
refreshed and you're up to 352.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So you're 29%, 70 more percent, and you're there.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet.
You're just getting started.
Yeah, dude. And this is we know how hard it is. I was gonna say, make sure you tell your family for the next 38 days. You're pretty much going to be in the Matrix, You know what I mean? You're gonna be doing interviews. You're gonna be doing a ton of different things.
Yeah.
The
buy my
Tate
book
says,
mentality.
good job. Thanks,
Thank you,
buddy.
Tate.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
It's a new person I haven't seen on our chat before. Yeah. So keep pushing, Adam. Grab shows. Sure. Grab any interview shows. Reach out to Pop XP. They used to have. I don't know if they're still doing it. That's the YouTube channel that's run by Billy Tucci and Niles Scalia, I think. And they used to have. I don't know if they're still doing it, but they used to have creators come on and push their their projects on there, and they have a good following. Cool. So
yeah,
I'm sure you know Billy Tucci just from being in the convention scene around here.
Yeah, I've probably met him.
Yeah, he's one of those creators that just you'll know him when you see him. He's like hugging everybody, and he's one of those great creators. It's always fun to see him. It shows. But yeah, no, I think you're off to a good start. I'm glad we were able to give you a little boost tonight. Anyways,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just getting the word out is huge.
Dr. Mass says they still do the crowdfunding shows. So yeah, reach out to him. See if you can get on there. Pop XP. They have like a 3,000 sub, 3,000 or more people subscribe. So it's a good audience to pitch your stuff.
So that's the other thing I noticed when I did my campaign is that, no social media platforms too awkward. I posted to LinkedIn. And one of the cool things on Kickstarter is, you can see where your pledges come from. And sure enough, I got hits through LinkedIn, Reddit, places where I never would have thought to post or promote. People said, go post there, promote there. And sure enough, pledges came through. So
I gotta agree with you, Johnny. LinkedIn is a little snake in the grass for promotion. I never put much stock in it, but when I did that video, when I got the books in for my campaign, that video must have got watched on LinkedIn alone for I think about 200 times. And I'm like, holy crap, that's better than Facebook. It might be a better platform to promote than Facebook, believe it or not.
That's for sure. Yeah, well, Facebook suppresses purposefully, because they want you to advertise, whereas something like LinkedIn's a little bit more information sharing,
Yeah, definitely. And I think it kind of breaks up the monotony of Amazon's got drone posts, how are you coping with Zoom calls on in the pandemic, and things like that, But I agree. Facebook is the worst. Yeah, it really is
the worst.
Yes, it is.
Bottom of the barrel social media. But anyways, we're about an hour and 10 minutes at this point, so we usually like to start wrapping up, and so Adam, anything else you want to say about social studies? Anything you want to tell the audience that will watch this video tomorrow and later this week? Anything you want to tell them to check out, or anything that we haven't covered? Actually,
yeah, I mean, if you guys are on the fence, or if you want to try before you buy kind of thing, on our website socialstudiescomic.com. we have the first issue as name your own price. You can go there, put a 0, and you can download it and check it out totally for free.
Very cool.
Nice.
If you want to back it after that, great. And we have a lot more coming.
Great idea. So yeah, check that out. I know you sent us, I think, the link, me and Johnny, the link to check out the entire thing. I've been so busy I didn't get a chance to read it this.
It's a big ask to read 200 pages before the interview.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to, but I couldn't make the time. But I will read it at some point.
That you sent prior, which
cool.
which was pretty cool. I was on board then.
And one thing I want to say too before we go, great idea for, I think, issue 7 to do the Warriors cover. I freaking love that movie. It's so great.
You're gonna like the issue then.
Oh, great! So is it a Warriors homage?
The whole thing's a spoof. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I can't wait to see what you guys do with the Turnbull ACs or the Baseball Furies. I mean, if those. Just to go off on a tangent here, if street gangs were really like that, I would be on one instantly.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be so much fun.
I know, wouldn't it? I was so happy that when they tried to remake that a few years ago that it fell through, because there's no way that movie is like you can't remake it now.
Yeah.
It just would not work.
I have that remake script. It's atrocious.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah,
God.
it's bad. MTV was actually producing it,
Yeah. Well, what it came out of that, like this. Oh God, you'll have to tell me some of the badness about it. But but that's awesome. I love that cover, so I definitely can't wait to read that issue now.
Those spoof covers, people love them. People love those spoof covers.
Yeah,
that would even make a
nice
on the print
too. For chapter 2.
Oh, cool! Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a "Can you dig it" guy?
Yes, we do. We do.
Nice.
Awesome.
Let me voice the "Can you dig it" guy for the trailer when it comes around.
Oh, okay, absolutely. Yeah. We might have to make a trailer just for that.
Word.
Yeah, and Dr. Mass says, like Clockwork Orange, you can't remake that. No way. That would not fly today. No friggin' way. Yeah, so just movies that they just should not be touched ever again, you know?
And it's funny you mentioned that too, because in issue 7, it's a Halloween episode also, and one of the characters is Alex from A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Oh, that's nice. Funny. Look at that. You guys are vibing. That's great. How about you, Johnny? Anything you want to promote or talk about? Any updates on the campaign that you can talk about?
The last update with the campaign is that money hit the account. I'm going to start ordering some of the perks and the stretch goals. Still waiting on artwork, so some stuff is still delayed. I don't know if I'm going to hit the end of September goal for starting to ship things like I intended, but either way, I'm going to keep people posted on that. Others update is that I got accepted into C2E2 Artist Alley, so that's going to be a first time in Artist Alley for one of those bigger shows. So that'll be fun.
When is C2E2?
What's that?
When is C2E2?
C2E2 is the Reed Pop's Midwest show. So
no, when is it? When is it this year?
Oh, when? It's December 9th through the 12th.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's going to be a real busy, like, the last half of the year with cons.
Oh,
now.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. And the last and the most important thing I want to tell everybody is to make sure you check socialstudiescomic.com. Thank you, Adam, so much for coming on again and promoting the book. I love this project, love the comic. I really hope you guys, have a really successful campaign.
Awesome, thanks so much.
Yeah, he's gonna have like 3 or 4 more perks on there by the weekend, I feel.
Yeah, it's gonna be me all weekend getting more perks up there.
Yeah, definitely do. And definitely push them out, on social media and let people know you have a couple of high-end ones. I definitely think the no-brainer would be to do art. Do like have people that want to be drawn in the style of social studies, either just as a caricature that you can send to them, or have future issues have characters, people drawn into the book.
Because it's a high school. There's always people in the background. So.
Yeah, of course. Anytime you have a crowd scene, you can put people in, things like that. People love that stuff too. They really do, like Johnny said. And it's just a thing that you can do that's not going to cost you anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be drawing those crowd scenes anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, for me, not much new. My Mascots number 4 will be in the Alterna Indiegogo coming up on September 22nd. They're going to start doing all their pre-orders as Indiegogo campaigns, but they're going to do them every season now. So there'll be like 2 months of worth of books coming out quarterly. And so I think Mighty Mascots number 4 will be in this fall edition, and then winter will be number 5, and then spring I think it'll be number 6. And then I'm looking to maybe do my next campaign next summer sometime and do the next 3 issues. So
nice.
That's where I'm kind of looking at, So, and then that's pretty much it. I finished lettering Beard Zerker, but I mentioned that last week. And that's pretty much it. And Dr. Mass said to do it comic size sketch, so shipping is easier. I agree. If you can keep everything that you add to the campaign kind of flat and about the size of that you can fit into a Gemini mailer,
Yeah.
you'll be golden as far as shipping goes.
That
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Strap it in, ship it media mail, put the label right over the seal so they don't open it up. Be golden, man.
Nice.
That's some little tips to get by, you know. So you
Tricks
don't
to
get
trade,
killed on shipping and everything either, you know.
Yeah.
So all right, guys. So that's pretty much it this week for this show. Any last words? Any words of wisdom before we close out this episode?
Be kind to each other and follow socialstudiescomic.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely follow socialstudies.com. Like, subscribe to the channel. We love having you guys in the chat. I think we have a great chat that joins us every week, and they also back books. We moved a couple. We got a few perks going this week, which is amazing. And so definitely. What do you say? Slap it up, flip it, rub it down. Yeah, yeah. I agree, man. I agree. All right, so guys,
big shout out to So Wizard.
Yeah, thanks, So Wizard, and say hi to Joey and all those guys for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joey, get off the roof.
Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. Well, have a great week, and we'll be back next Wednesday with another episode. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night.